Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Townhall.com dated July 29th, and it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, but typical Chicago sort of things and typical liberal things where it's like, hey, if we just tell you to not do something, then you're just not going to do it. And it says, here's Chicago's latest solution to crime on the subway, and it's exactly as stupid as you believe it is. So it says, while crime continues to be a major problem in Chicago, including on the city's subway system operated by the Chicago Transit Authority, or CTA, a couple of women have come up with what they think is a solution. Signs telling criminals not to commit crimes. Yes, that'll do it. It's like all the areas where there's like, they say guns are not allowed here, or it's a gun safety zone. And like, all those shooters just go, well, I guess I can't go murder a whole lot of people in that place, even though that's where like a lot of the, or like most of those shootings actually happen. So yeah. So the article continues, says, no, really, and here's the women here, and from End Wokeness, which you should follow if you're on X, says Chicago's new solution to crime, signs on the CTA that say violence is illegal. This is not satire. Yeah, I'm sure a criminal's about to go like, I'm going to do something bad to somebody, and they see that sign, they're going to go, maybe not right now, I should stop. Like, this isn't going to work, and anyone with, like, even a retarded amoeba for a brain cell, and that's the only thing working, would be able to figure out that this is a stupid idea. So into the article and me shutting up, it says, we are putting up these signs as an indication of what the consequences will be for any criminal actions on the CTA, said Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke. We are hoping to deter crime and to encourage people to come forward if they are witnesses of a crime. And I mean, that's fine. You hope to deter crime and, encourage people to come forward if they have a crime. Both good things. But putting up signs telling people just don't do bad things is not going to work. Like, has it ever? It says, these signs are a message to all of our riders and employees that we are working together with the county state's attorney's office to take action and ensure and promote a safe ride on the CTA, said CTA acting president Nora Learson. The signs read, violence on the CTA will not be tolerated. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office will prosecute and seek pretrial detention for all violent offenses on public transit. We'll believe it when we see it. Excuse me, not cutting that out either. It says, here's more. It says, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office and the Chicago Transit Authority are launching a new public awareness campaign warning that prosecutors will seek pretrial detention for people accused of committing violent crimes on public transit. The signage campaign follows the launch of Burke's Regional Transit Task Force in May 2026. The group brings together local, county, federal, and transit agencies to improve safety across Chicago's areas, the Chicago area's transit systems. There we go, I said it right. Participants include the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, Chicago Police Department, CTA, Cook County Sheriff's Office, Metra, and Police. Metra and Pace, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the bus company. Duh, not Place. Or Police. Whatever I said. I'm an idiot. The state's attorney's office also created an internal CTA task force focused on prosecuting transit-related crime in Chicago. Officials said more than 30 assistant state's attorneys have been training on using transit video technology as evidence in criminal cases. And it says it took a task force to come up with signs, and it says if only the criminals could read from End Wokeness. I'm sure they could, but still, I mean, again, do you really think someone's looking at one of those signs and going, well, not today, I guess? So it says, right, if only criminals could follow the law, then this Courage is a Habit account, this is now the first time I'm hearing of it, says, oh, well, shit. If two insufferable woke white women who voted for every single restorative justice policies the last 20 years are putting up signs, then there will be no more crimes. Yeah, pretty much how I feel. Another thing says, all it took was signs, and this Queen Velvet account says, which is ironic because it absolutely is tolerated. Yes, true. It says it is tolerated, and depending on the race and or immigration status of the perpetrator or perpetrators, it will continue to be tolerated. And then John Hawkins says, did people not realize they couldn't commit violence there before? Apparently not. It says, remember when the left said we had to teach boys not to that word there? The RAPE word. It says, same mentality. And then Turning Point USA chimes in with, that should do it. Yeah, it's really how I feel too. It says, why didn't we think of this before? And then the Rising Serpent account says, putting women, gays, and retarded men in charge means society becomes progressively more violent in the name of compassion. Putting masculine men in charge means you get the constant threat of violence as a means to establishing peace and prosperity. I think we need number two, not that the number one couldn't, work out, but I mean, you're getting things that are more based on feelings than you are based on actual solutions and common sense. And of course it says this is correct. That's in regards to what Rising Serpent said up here. So back down. Then Prison Mitch, which is a good account as well. It says, me in Chicago right before I get stabbed on the CTA. It's a guy holding up a sign, that same sign that those women were holding, with a dude standing in front of him with a knife. And scrolling on down to the final couple sentences, it says, did anyone run this by Mayor Johnson? Either no, and they did, and he just doesn't care, because he's horrible. Says he doesn't like prisons, and says arresting and jailing criminals is unholy. This is embarrassing for the city of Chicago and an insult to the victims of crime in the city. 100% correct. So, do you guys think that this sign would do anything for the crime rate? Would it stop you from committing a crime if you were thinking about it? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.